Okay, today is
Tuesday,
October
30th.
30th. Yeah, tomorrow's Halloween. So we are
One more
still
day
here
here.
at Henderson Hospital. We almost got discharged today.
Because miscommunication, general doctor wants to be the top dog. Didn't communicate with the other doctor. He scheduled me to have stay one more night to do dialysis tomorrow because he cared. And he was a doctor of mine before.
Well, let's back up here. So today Tom had an angiogram. That was supposed to be first thing in the morning, but then I guess there were some people in the ER that had to be done first. So his angiogram didn't start till like almost 11:30, and then he finally finished around, well, by the time he got back to the room, it was 2. So the angiogram was to, from the waist down, to look at the circulation of his blood.
Circulation.
Well, to look at the openings of his arteries and veins. So they put a dye in there to be able to see where there are any narrowing or blockages. And so where, I think they said in the artery on his right leg, they put a stent in there and ballooned it open, about 3 inches actually. So that should help to bring more blood flow down to his foot where he's got the wound, and then it can heal naturally. Otherwise, they were saying that it wouldn't heal and it would get worse. So that's the plan. So that was done, and unfortunately, because they had to make an incision like right where the leg meets the hip area and the groin.
I'm still sore right
So
now.
he had to be laying flat for 6 hours to let those incisions heal, and then then he could go to the bathroom and sit up, and so he had to eat laying down and drink laying down, which was challenging at first, but then he got used to it. But anyway, so from 2 till 8 p.m. he couldn't do anything.
I was in bed.
Yeah. And unfortunately, the one doctor was like, "Oh yeah, once you're done with the procedure, you can go home." But we're like, "Oh, wait a second! It's 8 o'clock at night. It's dark. We have to drive 2 hours in the, across the desert."
If we discharge us at 8, that's when I can get out of bed.
Well, actually, yeah, it would have been like.
We wouldn't have been leaving the hospital until about 9:30 or 10.
Yeah, by the time paperwork
and
is
the
done.
point is,
packing up.
After I got up, I'm still sore from my surgery. Mm-hmm. So he didn't even assess how I feel afterward. If I was a doctor, I would have said, in my opinion, I feel like you can leave, but I'm going to have somebody, if I'm not here, have somebody assess you at 8 o'clock after your 6 hour of requirement, stay in the bed. And then we'll go from there. The way he did it, it felt like he was kicking us out.
Yeah.
Forcing us out.
Yeah. So we got really anxious there. It's like, oh, I'm not driving, in the dark with Tom, who just had a procedure done. It's like, what if he starts bleeding or, vomiting or...
Like right now, I'm freaking cold like hell.
Yeah. Or what if, I get a flat tire or, the car has some kind of trouble.
So Candace and I say, you know what? I don't want to fight with him and stuff. Let's just pack up, go out. We just sleep in the parking lot or something in the car because I don't want to go to a hotel. I don't want to go anywhere far away from the emergency room in case I have emergency because of just recent surgery. So that's what we're going to do. And then next thing you know, the lead, whatever, of the hospital...
Well, I made some phone calls because they kept on telling us, well,
if you need something, call us.
No, you're stable and there's no reason to keep you. I'm like, I'm just asking just to stay until the morning, and then we'll leave in the morning. I think it's kind of weird to be discharged at
I
so
don't want
late
to
at
stay in
night.
a hospital every fucking
So I ended
day.
up calling because they had, these people come by and check on us and stuff. So this guy from the leadership of the hospital came by yesterday and said, "Oh, I want to see, how you like our service." And so he's kind of like taking a survey verbally. And at that time, we were like, "Oh yeah, everything's good. Well, a couple things here and there. I gave him some suggestions for improvements, and then he gave me a card and said, "Well, if there's anything that I can do for you, give me a call." So I called him.
This lady came and say, "Let me see what I can do," and after and then so that's how she never came back. Case manager never came back. Head nurse never came back. Leadership, whatever lady, never came back. The nurse came back and say, "Oh, you can stay because your other doctor already put in an order that he wants you to stay another night and do the houses the next day, which is Wednesday, my scheduled day. Then you can leave." Because why? He cares. And again,
Well, it just makes sense to me.
and
If
again,
someone has
he-
a major procedure done, they should stay for
yeah,
overnight
because
observation.
one of the nurse didn't want to butt in, but she say, all the time she stay here, anybody have angiogram like that always end up staying
Yeah.
overnight, and she didn't know why this guy did that. So my thing is, if you ever in Vegas or Henderson Hospital, which I love the staff and I still do, don't get me wrong, I
Except
have
for-
a big heart for them, except for Dr. Goobler. So if you ever had Dr. Goobler or Goober, whatever you want to say, to me he's a goober, but just request for another one, because he talks fast. He think he's really, I think he think he's God. So and it's sad.
Yeah. Oh.
We came to the hospital to ask you to help us, not to be. I don't know the words, but I think you all know what I mean.
So the main reason that we came here, if you recall, is that the other. Oh, Tom's having a pang of pain. So the other hospital in Arizona said, it might be cancer. You should go have it biopsied and checked out right away because you don't want it to get worse, right? So we come here and they still haven't done anything about Tom's genital issue. So we still don't know if it's cancer or not.
Yeah,
but,
we came here for that, and they check the foot and they work on the foot.
Yeah, but so let me explain. So at first I'm like, what the heck? But so the circulation in his leg, right? That also is affecting the genital area. Blood. That's the reason why that area is not doing good too, because blood flow over there is not good. So what they explained to us is that, the urologist who looked at him in the ER said she doesn't think it's cancerous. She just thinks it's basically dead tissue because of poor circulation, and she's seen it in diabetics
I just sitting on my
before.
hose.
Oh, sorry. And so they said that they could take care of that on an outpatient basis because they don't see that as being urgent, which makes me feel a little bit better. I hope they're right, because the other doctor made it sound like it was urgent. Especially when you see Tom is in pain like this.
I'm not making this up, and I hope nobody ever goes through this damn pain, but I do hope Goober does, because
Yeah, and I told him
I
that.
bet you he won't be last 1
Are
week.
you at a level 5 right now?
I don't know, but I hope I know
call the
that he won't
nurse.
last 1 week
He has
in
to.
the same pain area.
He's supposed to take
And
more
I'm
pain
going, like,
medicine
3
if he's at a
months.
level 5. So if you're at level 5, can you please call the nurse?
I go down. Just give me a minute.
Okay. Sometimes it goes down by itself. If he gives it some time to just not move. Anyway, where was I? So he's gonna be. We still have to get the discharge instructions that tells us when Tom is supposed to go see the urologist here on an outpatient appointment, and then they'll decide what to do. But they said it's probably going to be 3 months before they do any surgery in there because Tom had stents in September, and because they are coated with some what is it called? Some drug that keeps the blood from clotting to keep the stents open, and so you want to wait 3 to 6 months before doing any major surgery that may cause a lot of bleeding because of the blood thinning drugs that are in the stent, I guess. Plus, Tom is on blood thinners too, and they said you don't want to stop the blood thinners for that 3 to 6 months after doing the stents to make sure that the stents don't clog up. So unfortunately, that means if you need to have major surgery, usually with the surgeries, they tell you to stop taking your blood thinners. That way you don't bleed out during the surgery, bleed to death. So the general doctor said, yeah, you're just going to have to take painkillers to deal with the pain.
So I'm going to be a pain addict, and then everybody, CNN and Fox News, and everybody going to sit there and complain that I'm a drug addict, addicted to painkiller. You know, so many people out there that are sick, who care what they're addicted to, as long as they're not in pain no more. So everybody needs to shut the fuck up.
Okay, you gotta forgive him because he's in pain right now.
This is
how he gets.
I just
says
get sick
whatever
of people
on his
telling
mind
people,
and doesn't care what people think. So,
especially
anyway,
Dr. Goober.
Welcome to my world. A little bit of what I get. Anyway, so the foot wound is, just they're gonna let it heal naturally. You just gotta change the bandage every day and monitor it. If it starts to get worse, then I just gotta let them know. So I think that's it. Oh, they redid some tests on Tom's heart, so we do know that his heart is doing well, at least. So
what is the extraction?
One part that's working good. What'd you say?
What is the extraction?
The ejection fraction, I think is what it's called. Anyway, we don't know. I didn't get a chance to ask the doctor. So
those are things that he should have told us.
Well, the cardiologist was supposed to come back today, and he didn't. So unfortunately.
Why do we have to deal with all these stuff? We shouldn't be the one that have to remember all this stuff. They should read all these reports. They the one that require all these damn lab tests, blood tests, X-ray, and everything. But they don't tell us everything, and we ain't gonna remember everything. Like I say again, you go through the pain and see if you remember at least 5 items, 5 things that you're supposed to remember to do. Mm-hmm. Then talk to me.
And I wrote down some questions that I wanted to ask of the case manager,
but they always piss you off.
They didn't come by today because of what the other doctor put down, that Tom is stable and go back to his regular routine care. So I wanted to ask for like wound care and respite care and physical therapy and transportation for him, so that way I can get back to work and not have to always be worrying about dropping him off and picking him up and everything. And yeah, I didn't get to do that. So I don't know. People tell me, oh, when you're at the hospital, talk to the case manager and the social worker, and
we always say, okay.
I tried to.
Then when we get here, nobody really can help because they don't have the fucking experience.
The social worker was supposed to come around and help us with the advanced directive DNR thing, and they never came.
You know what I hate in life, and that might be a lot of people, you all have a title, and everybody that have a title doesn't even know how to, or what the definition of the title. Don't even have the experience to have that title. That's sad.
Okay. So anyway, I don't want to be totally complaining, but
And
I just want to know.
I'm not
I want
sad.
you guys
I'm
to
not
know
sorry.
what we're going through.
I speak from my heart.
But I am grateful for our nurse tonight, Marielle. She's so sweet and compassionate, and shares
And
things personally and asks us, about our personal stuff too. So I
And
really
Nurse
feel like she's
Sonara,
like a
too.
sister. And
Sonira.
Sanira, she was great too. She's new. She says she's only been here
She's
a year
awesome.
or something. But yeah, so I'm very grateful for the compassionate nurses and the CNAs and
That's the truth.
you know,
And like I say, I love this hospital staff.
and the people that serve the food. They're very patient and
And also our friend Dorothy and Jeff, the family here, a good friend of ours here in Las Vegas. They brought us over some Hawaiian food. They know I love it.
yeah.
So I
didn't
had
get
a little
chance to get out
taste of
today
that,
with everything
and
happening.
a few balloons, and that's it. We don't tell you what else they give us. But anyway, I agree with Candace. I'm grateful for those nurses.
And I'm grateful for our friends that called.
Yes.
You know,
I'm always
you said,
great.
like, talking to Dawn always lifts your spirits.
Yeah, whenever I talk to
Oh,
our
Dawn.
daughter.
Tell him you found General Quang.
Yeah, I found General Quang.
Everybody else is like, who's General Quang?
Yeah.
Are you going to tell him?
No.
We'll tell you in the next video. Keep them hanging.
Talk to you later, guys.
Oh, and I also want to thank Carlos for taking care of Susie and Tebow. And
get your phone fixed, because we left you 2 messages and 1 text.
yeah, so.
I don't care if you have Verizon. We have Verizon too.
Well, sometimes my phone acts up too. So anyway.
No,
So
that's the poorest excuse
we'll let you
where
guys
people
go.
have
This
cell
video's getting
phone.
long. It's 16 minutes long.
I had
Sorry.
no reception. Whatever.
Okay, you're going on and on.
Because I'm getting sick of people like that. Just answer the damn phone when it rings.
Okay, good night, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.